So when we talk about the bright and all those good people, we talking about that 3 sigma that's out there, right? And when we talk about these other, those people that ain't too bright and all that, we talk about 3 sigma plus in the other direction. And then we've got these normals, right? Now the problem with this whole concept, when it applies to human beings, is that we're not fixed. People are not fixed. And so they move in and out. Right now, our educational system is designed to help the 2 extremes. If you're exceptionally bright, there are some things and opportunities for you. If you need a lot of help, there are some things to do for you. If you're considered normal, well, you just hang in there. However, human beings shift. One of the things that we're doing in East St. Louis is saying, hey, we don't believe in the 80-20 principle. Right? You guys familiar with the 80-20 or 20-80 principle, whatever that was? How many of y'all familiar with the 80-20 principle? Okay, 80%. Okay, 20% of your people are going to do 80% of the work. Right? 20% of your people are going to be, 80% of your people are going to be normal or below. Right? So the way that that model says that what you have to cater to is that 20%. We believe that can be the opposite way. We believe that 80% of the people have the heart and desire and the will to do that. Otherwise, why would you be tutoring in East St. Louis? If you honestly believe that you could not get through to one of those students, that you could not move them along that curve, why would you be tutoring? 80% can be moved. See, based on the chart, right? Y'all average, and you're gonna stay average. I don't care what you do. You're gonna make C's. And then one of these 2 extremes is extremely bright, and the other one is kind of, well, we need y'all around so that we can just say we're getting some more money to help y'all, right? Even though you got students. And yet I guarantee you that all of us have seen students who came in extremely bright fall off the cliff this way, and students who came in that weren't considered to be so bright excel way beyond what they're doing. So to answer your question, I think we got to really concentrate, and that's one of the things we do. There was a study done, of which I was a part of, that District 189 came down and did another study. And the study said that in order for you, as a single parent, to have a living wage in East St. Louis, you needed to make about $19 an hour. In a 2,000 man year, right? That's about 40 hours for 50 weeks of work, right? You get 2,000 man hour, that's a basic unit that they use. You get about, so $38,000, right? So make about $38,000. Well, East St. Louis has declared that these students, well, most of y'all not going to go to college, so we're going to put you in a vocation. All right? So 65% of the students are targeted towards vocation. Now, vocation in and of itself is not necessarily a bad thing. The problem is, you've targeted them into a vocation that pays them a maximum of $12 an hour. How can you live on the Mississippi River and do not have vocations that talk about boating and topology and oceanography and river, whatever that geography is, right? The fish and all that kind of stuff. How can you have a vocation that doesn't tell you how to underwater weld and all that kind of beautiful thing? How can you have major you got the Air Force here, you got Boeing's here, you got a simulator here, and yet you don't have any aviation technology? We should be producing aviation technologies. You've got the third largest concentration of rail. How are we not producing rail? How are we not? If we're going to make you a technical person, right? So now you make $19, $20, $30, $40, $50 an hour. Now you stay in East St. Louis. You live in East St. Louis. You're now a tax contributor, right? The tax of bold people go up. Therefore, the tax rate can come down with the same amount of money. Now I got less tax money. I got more expendable dollars to circulate, right? I mean, the thing is, that's how it works. That's how it should work. But we've targeted. We already know. Not a matter of knowledge. We know you need $18 an hour, $19 an hour, but we're going to give you a $12 an hour job. So what does that mean? Either you're going to be living below the standard necessary for you to live, or you got to get another job. Which means you can't be with your family, you can't be in the community, you can't be concerned about the environment, you can't be doing none of that. Right? Because you got to work 2 jobs.